What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another stream. I just did a poll. I've never played with the YouTube chat settings before, so give that a go. It's basically I've got 3 different styles of cans to weld tonight, and what are we going to do next? I haven't turned the stream light on, so just a sec. Fingers crossed, yes. Okay, it's voice activated, so I just switched out screens so you guys didn't have your Google devices go off. Don't know why, but I feel I always feel super vulnerable with the lights on, but it's working. We're doing it. Today has been an absolute monster of a day. There's a ton of stuff going on right now. Super busy. Lots of errands running around the place, but we're here now. We're streaming. I was again today planning to do a stream during the day, but it just didn't happen. But I will endeavor to do them once things sort of settle down in the background here. I will try my best to try and pop in and out more regularly on streams. Got my microphone up here. Yes, everything's fine. We've got the keyway in here from welding fittings last night. Pop him there for now, and just clean some filler rods. I gave them a bit of a clean when I put them away, but this is a brand that I haven't used before, and they've got like a bit of oxide or oxidization on them. I think they're clean from an oil perspective, fairly clean. But where are you guys? Let's get a looking camera going on. So a little bit of trash come off them there, not too bad. Probably they would burn off all right, but they're done now. So we got them set up, ready to go. We got this camera set up, ready to go. We'll wipe these. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 catch cans, and 3 of them absolutely need to be welded. One of them is partially negotiable. So if you call it last night's stream, we welded the custom S14 catch can, and I was able to get out to the custom workshop today and just sit it in the vehicle to make sure the temporary jig that I made was accurate, because we are making a second one, and it looked bloody fantastic. So I definitely encourage you, if you want to see it, I put pictures up on my Instagram. On my YouTube page, if you go to my homepage, there is a link to my link tree, which will link to my Instagram if you want to see that can fitted to a vehicle. I know on this stream and even on this channel, it's super rare to actually see the finished product. I know often we just do a stage. And I'd like to do more. The idea behind having this larger workspace here was to have cars come through and to be able to do some work to them. So that'll be a thing I'll work towards in the future, to be able to do like build series that goes all the way through from design to the finished product. We'll figure that out as time goes on. Even though I've been in this shop for a little over 6 months now, it still feels like I've just moved in. Still setting up, still unpacking. It's been a really slow process to get settled in here. So it seems like the audio is working, seems like everything's going all right. The picture quality looks good. I am very curious to see how the cameras go tonight after a little bit of kerfuffle with the first stream. It does make me a bit apprehensive to broadcast the stream link. Like I post it all on my socials. Like last night, for example, I had to post a second link, and the second link does not do as well as the first link as far as getting people to come to the stream. So just going to set this, so setting the flow to 7 liters a minute at the torch, not at the regulator. I've never actually shown the regulator, but it's about 8 liters a minute on the regulator when we're getting 7 at the torch, and that is just 7 on this gauge. It doesn't actually mean anything except for referencing it back to that gauge. And I didn't get a chance to shoot out and grab another pair of gloves today. I actually just saw that in the camera that I've got a finger exposed. I did swap hands, so the glove with all the holes in it would be on my torch hand, but the last thing I want is to burn my fingertip right before the weekend, so I'll just pop a different glove on the torch hand. Might have to swap this out for another glove later. I don't know how this goes with the heat, but I know I definitely can't use it in my left hand, so that's all cool. All right, so I'm going to start with the Evo catch can. This is this is the one it's got a really big gap just here where my thumb is. I'm going to start with this one here, and we're just going to start blasting through it. I might switch between catch cans as we go. If anybody chimes in on the poll, we'll switch over to that catch can just for the fun of it. The welding helmet camera is the only thing I have not plugged it in yet. Let's get that plugged in and get that there. Really need to swap out these lenses. I might do that on the next stream. It's a little bit of a palaver with the camera in there. I'd love if somebody joins the stream tonight or is watching the stream live. I'd love to test the subscribe thing in the bottom corner. Where is it? I'll be pointing down here. I've been having issues with it not updating in real time, and I think I've fixed it, but the only way to know for sure is if somebody subscribes in real time. So if you see this, I don't know when people chime in if they watch up to the point or scrub through, but yeah, if you happen to see this or hear this, hit the subscribe, and we can test that out. Hopefully your name pops up, and my hard work in the back end is actually working. I'm going to ball this tungsten here. Let's jump into settings and jump out here. We'll go down to profile number 10, which is my bowling setting. Yes, it is my bowling setting. and I'll put you in a welding screen. I'll get you. Okay, so now let's look at it like this. Got a nice ball on the tungsten there. There it is. If I can get that camera to stay still. That's the ideal situation for me. That's how I like it. Back in focus, even though you won't come back to that screen while we're welding, I don't think. So we're going to go back up to profile number 1, which is our welding profile, straight current profile. I've just got auto on the pre-flow and post-flow. The hot start level I've turned off, which we've normally had on in the past. Over here we've got square wave. We're running 125 hertz tonight and negative 33 on the AC balance. We've got 120 amps max on the pedal and 15 amps on the minimum on the pedal. And I just want to check the TIG settings and make sure that the high frequency start is back at 100%, and it is. We were playing around with 95% yesterday. And this right here, look at this. We've finally cracked 100 hours arc time on this machine. It feels like it's taken me forever, years actually, to crack 100 hours, but we've done it. And we've almost got 1,000 hours, or 986 hours, almost 987 hours of idle time. And that is partly because every now and then I accidentally leave this machine on overnight. And it just racks up the hours. So we're all set up. I'm going to buzz around this top section here, get a bit of heat in the part, and we're just going to get motoring. So let's dive in. welding camera froze there. I had a sort of a rough start on that. I changed it out from the 125 hertz on the machine. I went down to 110. The sound at 125 to 130 is like really annoying me. It did last night too. So I only did that from a personal well-being maybe point of view. But that camera should come back online. Yeah, that camera will come back online when we switch out to it. So hopefully it's all good. But I've just bumped up to 140 hertz, and we'll see how that goes. We'll just try and find a nice middle ground for me. No, didn't like that either. Chris is here. G'day, Chris. Welcome to a Friday night stream. I wasn't meant to stream tonight. I wasn't intending to stream tonight, but here we are streaming. What do I do? What do I do? I just go to 130 hertz. Like, just got to do it. So I've got a really large gap here. Right there. The lighting's not very good when I zoom in, but had a really hard time getting a good fit up on this panel. I have made a change to the design of the part along this curved edge to try to not have to beat it down so far. And then by doing that, it threw out this corner a little bit, and I got this really bad tack, and then by extension a really bad gap. So we'll just get a bit of filler in there. I might have to switch out to a 2.4mm filler to fill that big gap, but I'll just get the corners pinned, and now that we've got a bit of heat in the part, and we'll see how this welding camera goes. Well, that camera didn't freeze. I have no idea what the difference is between 120 hertz, 130 hertz, and 140 hertz when it comes to EMF. But evidently, my my camera, that is actually the only camera I've got that has EMF protection on the circuit board. I guess the cabling doesn't, but this is the only one playing up. So we'll grab a 2.4mm filler, and let's switch out the machine to, well, firstly, let's save this lot of settings, and we'll switch the machine to setting number 3, which is our pulse setting, and we'll just buzz along this seam here. Okay, that went pretty well. Got a little bit too much heat in there, but given the circumstances, everything went really well. So we got a nice bead across there. I'll just put this filler rod back in the tube so I don't pick it up on accident later on. Just put the tube lid back on. Okay, so let's flip him over now. And well, the filter basket prop to a smaller guy. All right, let's get a new piece of filler and prop it in. Weld in the filter basket. But first, got to make sure we get back to that. Oh no, we're doing them in a pulse setting. So we'll keep it as is. I'm getting a little bit of a crater in between pulses. Let me see if I can show that. No, I can't because the goddamn camera's froze. So does that mean the settings camera's not working? No. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Here we go again. Now that settings camera was working. It was working. Interesting. Can I come in here and not click that? Get this one, deactivating, reactivating. No, but can I do this? Yes, I can. So that should maybe come back online. No. Deactivate, reactivate. No bueno. Okay. It is working. It's a computer problem. It's a computer problem. So that is this is the, no, this one is the welder camera. This one is the main camera. And this one is the other camera. It's got something to do with that pulse setting. It has to. That it knocks out the cameras like that. I have no idea. I will just, I've got to click all the buttons first before they time out. Click that button. Click that button. So that should bring those guys back to life. And let's, just out of curiosity's sake, grab these. Last night I had these two bits, right? They are just, they're rare. Why aren't you seeing me on that camera? Deactivate, reactivate. Here. Last night I had these two of these magnets. They're rare earth magnets, and they're super powerful. And I actually put them between my finger. multi-grips to get in there and pry them apart. And I have quite the blood blister for it. Pretty rare to be carrying two of those magnets at the same time, but it happened. One got away from me and really did some damage. I don't think this is going to do anything, but I'm just putting the EMF cloth up as a bit of a curtain where the computer's sitting currently. I don't expect it to do anything, but if I don't try something, nothing's going to change today. And let's carry. So in the settings, what I wanted to have a look at was what the low setting is on the foot pedal, which if we get up here is 25 amps. That's probably low enough, but we'll just bump it up to 30 and see if that helps the situation. Everything else seems okay. I could actually speed this up a little bit, and that might help out with nothing more than the heat in the part. I'll just check that welding helmet camera. That's working. So we're all good. We'll carry on. Okay, we still lost the camera. So we had the settings camera, and then again when I come back to it, it disappears. So I'm not sure why it's fine while it's active, and then as soon as it goes into reactivate mode, I lose it. It has to be this pulse setting, right? Has to be. What's different about this pulse setting apart from the pulse action? Reset that camera. Reset this camera. Reset this camera. And this camera thinks that the battery has fallen out. Turn him back on. So we are back in business. One click away from being back in business. And that guy is back on. This guy should reset. Yes. Okay, so let's just investigate this pulse setting. So I ended up dropping it down to 0.9 seconds, so 1.1 hertz. We kept the 45 on time. We have turned off the high frequency or the hot start. Everything else looks like it should be. This startup level, I think we turn that down to 5%, but that might be an issue. Just save those settings. I'll just make a mental note that we turn that start level down, and we'll just jump up to program 1. And let's just look at what, yeah, so we're start level 5% there too, and non-linear downslope is at 5%. So let's go this one. Non-linear downslope is at 0%, which should only affect like the torch switch. I don't think it should affect the foot pedal at all. It should only affect a 4T setting, not a 2T setting. I'm not 100% certain of that, but that makes sense though. So we'll jump back into program 1, and we're going to weld the top of this tank. And I'll get you in the looking camera. It's still working. Just going to make a small adjustment there, there, and there. Perfect. And probably start at this back corner here. Let's make our way around. We will pop a chill block on the top there, and we're in it. We're just going for it. Stop in and make sure all the cameras are working. And like it all feels pretty, I'm gonna say the I'm getting some really nice welds, and I'm adjusting to the noise of it, so looks fantastic actually. Those welds look bloody superb. This Thank you, the CNC cut machine on the CNC behind me here. It's the first product I feel like we've welded for a while that's been fully cut in-house. And there's just a huge difference between the material quality. I think today, where is it? Here, this big bit of paper here. I picked up a few sheets of aluminium today, so I got some monster builds coming up, and I wanted to get the stuff sorted, the material sorted before I dive into these big batch builds. We're coming to the end of a big batch build and about to ramp up another one. But I got a shock today at the. It seems like every month I buy 4 sheets of aluminium, basically. And for the last 3 months, there has been a $30 increase per sheet. And today I paid $190 for a 1200 by 2400 2mm sheet of aluminium with no PVC coat. Absolutely unbelievable how all these price increases are just ramping up and up and up and up. I think it's going to make things a little bit difficult in the future, but we will, we'll just keep on doing what we do well. But I'm looking forward to, and I always say it every time I do a laser cut part or one of those old tumbled parts, I'm like dead certain that it's the last piece, and then I'll go into the next box. I actually have like a whole wall of tubs for each individual product, and there's miscellaneous pieces and whole pieces in there, like whole products in there. And I'm always surprised, anyway, to see that there's still old laser cut parts, even after, 8-9 months of cutting them exclusively myself. Absolutely crazy. But let's keep going. This piece of filler is way too short, but I am just going to get a tack in the corner and then go for it. Looks great. Thank you, Chris. This this whole tank so far is coming up phenomenal. We'll try and keep this quality up for the entirety of the evening. Okay, I did hear the USB cycle in and out, and I wondered if we lost cameras, but looks like everything kept on going. Yeah, it's bloody impossible to find Australian-made material. Usually, so I've been buying from Allspec. Since I moved into this shop, I've been buying from Allspec Aluminium. Action Aluminium, who is my old supplier. I used to use Action Aluminium in Archerfield, and now I went to G-Bung. And they were sort of saying that they can't even guarantee film on sheets. Like they'll order sheets with PVC film, get sheets without film, or order sheets without film and get sheets with film. Like he couldn't guarantee me anything. So I ended up getting all they had, which was a bunch of sheets without film, but they were so nice in paper wrapping them all. And they're only scratched on the backside where they fed them into the guillotine. I got them to cut them in so I don't have to. Yeah, it's tough. It's so hard because for me, a lot of my products are pre-sold. So I'm making products from last month and even the month before, based on prices from back then, and then ultimately having to wear or absorb the difference. It's a difficult thing, but you know, it's part of business, and ultimately I want to provide my customers with the best product I can, and that's all there is to it. You know, I could get all these parts laser cut in China cheaper than I can even buy the material here in Australia. But going through the process of buying sheets, cutting it myself, and controlling quality from start to finish is very important. But yeah, it's really hard to go from $120 a sheet to $190 a sheet in the span of 3 months. Very, I mean, it's crazy. And if they you know, if it keeps going, you know, we're gonna have to reconsider some things maybe. And by that I mean the retail price of my products, not how I make the products. But let's keep on going. I'm looking forward to doing this curved bit, considering how well the welding's going. So I'm keen to just get around this little edge here and give that a crack. Okay, we're still working. That weld was absolutely phenomenal. And you know what I think is happening? This mechanics glove that I'm using, the little finger, or all the fingers, but the little finger that I prop with is really sticky, and all my movements across the part are with absolute purpose, as opposed to these. Use a slippery on there. I wonder if that's a contributor. The bead is so even and so defined. Bloody absolutely fantastic. I'm really happy with that. So this guy here, I always wonder whether to do it in 2 bites or to try and get around here in 1 bite. I think it's worth the stop-start. It's a really tight curve, and I don't think the curved prop offers us anything really as far as getting around here. I don't think it really bent at all, but let's have a look at it. Yeah, it's maybe if we get that back there, we might. So I haven't remade the mount for this curved prop. I keep meaning to. Actually, that might get it in 1. I might be able to do a cheeky movement of the table as I roll around. And that being said, I might just grab the 3rd hand and pop that over here, which I know you can't see, but it just puts a little bit of resistance on this table, which might stop me from sort of overshooting into the torch. The other thing we must do is get a brand new piece of filler. And right now, wish me luck, and we'll try and do in 1 pass. Okay, all our cameras stayed on. Wonderful. Not too bad. Definitely when I came around this snout section, the weld bead changed a little bit, but really good consistency. There was a blowout somewhere around, I think it was there, which was just where attack was. But really, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm actually really happy with that, all things considered. I wonder if it was better to do maybe a stop-start. I do have another one of these to weld, so I might experiment if I remember. Maybe I'll do a stop-start just before the curve, and that'll allow me to reposition in a more comfortable, just more comfortable wrist action. But let's turf this curved prop. And finish off this last little top section. We'll put you in a welding screen. Okay, let's flip this over. Oh, we might do the weld. Let's do this next section. Up here. Let's move this camera up here. I don't think this camera is actually on the welding screens anymore, but we'll go to the trouble of, because you're looking at it right now. So I've got a few shorter fillers, so we'll start getting through those on these shorter welding passes. Just check this. Okay. Carry on. I did hear the USB cycle again, but I think it was the stream deck, not the cameras. Everything seems to be working okay there. Good. Around there, a fair bit of heat in that tiny little panel, but everything looks nice. So we'll go the two larger ones. I want to go down from the top, so while we're here, I'll carry on. We've been streaming for 59 minutes, and I play around with the bot. Last had the chatbot go absolutely crazy, trying to win the award for most posts in the chat. And by now, and I'm just gonna pop something in the chat and see if we can get him to post. So just coming up super catch can. Let's post that in there, and 3, 4, 5. That's 5 posts, and that should be enough for the chatbot to. I think I set him to 5 posts before he is allowed to say anything, but I'm not sure. Hopefully this doesn't balk the stream, but we'll open up. So I'm using OBS to do the streams, and then Streamlabs have their own skinned version or their own version of OBS. And somewhere in there is where Chatbot lives. And Chatbot is turned on, and let's look at his. So 5 posts is where he is authorized to speak. So it says he's turned on. I think we can leave that in the background. I tried to, but I actually, I actually want it to work, but I don't want it to. I'm for a very active chat, but you know, like you see the streamers that have hundreds of people in the comments section or the chat box, and you know, the flies through and the bot's going off. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't want him to more than you. I think that's a bit excessive that he was posting almost 1 for 1. But we'll figure it out. Like we're figuring it out over time. But let's weld this vertical. camera's still working. Yes, got a couple of pretty nice welds there as well. So we just did this seam here, and then this seam over on this side. Come up really nicely. So this one might be not the bottom here. I did start with this one because it's the first one that I've got to do tonight. But hopefully we'll buzz up there okay. We'll give this a go like this in this position. I actually wonder if it'd be worth doing this particular weld with the pulse setting. Might end up being a canary start, but pulse setting number 3. We're still at 1.1 hertz. We'll just let you guys see what I'm doing. So I'm in the pulse setting here. I'm just going to up the frequency to 130. And let's jump back a screen and oh, I mean, am I pulse setting number 4? I am. I'm the wrong one. Pulse setting number 3. And I could tell that because of the on time. I have the on time at 60% in my other pulse setting. I did think it was strange that the frequency was different, but so I'll bump that down to 1 pulse per second and just check everything out. I wonder if the AC balance is the thing that's knocking out the camera. I mean, let's just buzz it and right. Yeah, everything's still on, everything's good. Definitely a different finish on that weld compared to the rest of them, but it was worthwhile for that overhanging section there. And now we just got a couple of welds to finish off this bottom. And let's make sure we get out of the pulse setting. Did we make changes? Yes, we did. Let's save the changes. Jump up to our straight current setting. Everything's good. Who's talking? I can't stop talking. Okay, and we are back. Use some of these short bit filler. Okay, I heard the USB cycle, but I had a really rough arc start on that weld. I'll just touch up this little gap here. Perfect. And we'll do this in 2 stages. I wonder if putting the third hand here help with the earthing to help with the arc start. Is that going to be filler for this section? Probably not. We'll grab Freshie and jump in. Okay, so hand out of here. And not too bad. This one down here was really nice. I get a good angle on that one, but it turned out not too bad. And there we are. Look at this. What? Didn't mean to get a bit crazy there. If I take this lens off, that looked a bit better. Definitely got a how bad is the is that? Let's see if we can push the right button from back here. No, let's just take. Okay, that's a bit better. Let's zoom out here. And there it is. Cool. Look at that. So got some really beautiful welds on this. Looks absolutely magic. This is my least favorite product to make. This is an Evo 6 can. My absolute unfavorite products because of its really tight radius, and I don't like the brackets when it comes time to weld brackets. But it is a great little product. It fits in the engine bay like this way, facing you. The throttle body's here. The intercooler pipe wraps around where the curve is, and it fits really neat where the ABS system is. It is a cool little product taking advantage. This is like 3.1 or 3.2 liters of usable capacity, and you don't have to remove the battery or the airbox or anything to fit it. So it is a great solution for the vehicle, but just not my favorite product to make at all. But that turned out absolutely magical. I don't know how to view this this poll situation, but how do I? It says go to channel. Go to channel. Here we are at the channel. I apologize for the reverberation in the sound. How can I? I'm not allowed to vote, so I don't count. So 50-50 Skyline and Supra. Supra was definitely voted for first, so let's close me viewing the stream. Let's bounce this camera out here. Man, it looks good without that lens. I always, oh, there we go, close the poll. I always think this camera has picture quality, but with that, which is normally have variable ND, and that's how I was trying to simulate a welding lens, so I could turn it on and off with the variable nature of the ND filter. But even in its off position, it's definitely not as crisp as just the raw lens. Looks pretty nice. Pretty nice. So this is a JZA Supra, JZA Supra catch can. Now we're suffering from blowout for sure. I can't keep cranking up that shutter speed. I'm gonna have to put this filter back on because I need it to work without investing too much time. So at least I can adjust the brightness with the ND filter. Picture quality is not quite as good, but makes me think that I should come back another time and just reset those settings. But anyway, we'll do that at a later date. So this is a really new product for me. I think it's only been on my website for about 6 months, but it's turned out to be really popular, and it's a great solution. Again, this sits up, the brake master cylinder sits in this curve section through here. There is a cutout at the bottom here, which there is the accelerator cable that comes through there. So instead of trying to rip out the accelerator cable, I've just notched the bottom of the kit to allow it to sit in its factory location. Dash 10 or dash 12 options, fully labyrinth baffled with an atmospheric venting filter, so that will have E85 foam, fine foam, and then a filter plate on top. And that is the baffle at the front is sorry, and then the filter at the front is 3-directional as well to create the labyrinth. And it works bloody great as a catch can. So this is a seam across the bottom here. I'm going to want to get some tacks across there and just pin off these. We'll start with this seam across here, and we'll just dive into it. Looks like Chatbot doesn't want to. Maybe I mean that's definitely 5 posts now, but until gloves on. All right, no, that doesn't get him in here. More investigation required for Chatbot, but anyway, that's not welding. So let's get welding. Here we go. Okay, just run some tacks down there. So it's a pretty large panel, so that will warp as I weld down it. So getting those tacks on is actually really important. And now I'm just going to go. I should have mentioned it before, but I just have to go through and fusion weld this really sharp point because it will just sort of disappear as I weld through there. It's just too thin to take any heat. Just tap that into. We'll get you in a welding. Okay, so fusion weld, I did have to use a little bit of filler just to make sure it didn't blow out there, but just fusion weld that point there, and then we're good to go. So I'm going to do this on a pulse setting. Chris heading off to dinner. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for being here. Have an awesome night and weekend, and no doubt I will see you next week. Since I talk to you. But I don't know if seeing you or talking to you is the right term, but I'll see you next week. Now we're going to switch here back to our pulse setting. We made some changes to this, so we'll just save the changes to program 1 and jump down to profile number 3. So it's 1 second pulse, 45% on time, and got 130 hertz, negative 25 on the AC balance, and we are 110 max amps, so everything should be good. This may knock out the cameras. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully having that that AC balance turned down was the thing, but I really am none the wiser when it comes to what is knocking out the cameras right now. We've still got cameras. Fantastic. Not too bad on there. Where can I show you? So somewhere around here, I had a little bit of a blowout, and then I felt like I was just sort of chasing it. Still looks really good, but you can definitely see, actually, now that I look at it in the light right there, that is every single tack it has gone. They were really large tacks. You can still see where the weld's gone over the tacks there. Probably could have used a few more amps and sort of melted them down a little bit, but it's all good. It's on the bottom. We'll never see it. It's going to be powder coated, all that good stuff. So Certainly not upset about that by any means. Next up, while we're still in settings, I will filter cradle here. This one's a nice one because the two sides here are folded. Usually I need to put additional tacks in to stop it warping, but because they're folded, they've got a lot of strength, and they make real heat soaks for welding these thin sections. So this thin section here is a really great heat soak compared to what we normally do. Like on this R33 tank here, it's welded on both sides, so a few additional tacks to stop it from warping is necessary. Okay, we lost the cameras that time. Oh, the Google's going crazy. That's great. I just restarted cameras. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. And camera 1 always thinks that the battery has fallen out and I have to restart, so we'll just turn him back on. This guy needs to be rejigged, and this guy needs to be authorized. Camera number 2 will turn back on when we come back to that screen. So yeah, not sure. I'm not sure. I always think like we've made progress with the cameras dropping, and then they drop out again, and I don't have any idea why. I don't have any idea. To know would be to get an EMF detector and I think to have a camera on it so I can review it after the stream to see if there's spikes. And then I could probably relate what happened during the stream with what's going on with an EMF detector. But man, how into it do you get for a welding live stream? Like, even right now, having a 4-camera setup is, you know, it's pretty crazy. So I would like, obviously I want this stream to run smoothly and be something of quality, but you know, it's a tough thing to manage, as well as try and make beautiful welds for you guys. It's a tough thing to manage, but we're doing it. You know, a couple of camera restarts here and there is probably not the end of the world. It gets a bit tedious when it's the you know, when it's just a troubleshooting stream and not a welding stream. But what am I going to do? So I've just tried adding the third hand to try and help with the earth, and there's not much else I can really do. I do actually want to, I'll just pop you here so you can see what I'm doing. I do want to grab just the pulse frequency, the time, down to 0.9 seconds instead of 1 second. I like to blast through these filter baskets a little bit quicker. And everything else is really all it can be. I don't quite know what to focus on to try and remove the EMF spikes. So we'll just, you know, we'll just cross our fingers. Do we still have cameras? No, we do not have cameras. But the camera stayed live, I think. The one that looks at the welding machine is the one that baffles me. But it stays on until I switch screens, and then like now, if I go back to it, it's disconnected. But there's something to do with the pulse setting, but I don't know what it is. I'll reset camera 1. I'll try and keep talking so you guys know I'm still here. Reset camera 2. Reset camera 3. The battery thinks it's fallen out. No, it's still got its battery. It could even be my computer. Like, my computer is 4 or 5 years old. I have upgraded a few components since we've been doing the stream. And then we just need to come back to this camera and we're all good. But I got no idea. What specifically is making the cameras drop out. If anybody's watching the stream and wants to chime in the chat, if you are an EMF expert or have some have a direction for me to look at. I know this is like our 53rd or 54th stream, so I know there's a lot of streams. Some of them have gone flawlessly, and others have have ended in catastrophic because of EMF. But I've done it. Like, I've got my camera, this camera, in some EMF cloth. Right, I have an EMF sheet covering my computer to protect it. The problem is all the cabling. I have really long cables to get to all these cameras and stuff. But really, I'm starting to get to a point where I'm as educated as I'm willing to be, and I don't know how to find a permanent solution. What the permanent solution is, but I'm definitely willing to listen to people's thoughts, take advice, and make changes. How nice would it be to have an entire stream without talking about EMF, restarting cameras, and all the bullshit that goes along with trying to keep a AC welding stream train on the tracks. It's pretty stressful. We're gonna keep on welding because we need to keep on welding. Do I restart this camera? Just restart this camera. We are here. It should. It needs to come back, I think. Yeah, there it is. So I want to just get out of here, out of the pulse setting. I'll just check. I don't think I did make some changes. Oh, I changed the pulse time. So we'll just save that for next time and jump back into our straight current setting. And this is square wave, 130 hertz, negative 33 on the AC balance. And I used to know the amperage, but I changed it recently. We are max amps at 120 with a foot pedal. Everything else is, on auto, post-flow, pre-flow, all on auto. So I need to get a tack on this corner up here. I've got a really bad tack when I assembled it. Actually, it looks like I dipped the tungsten on this one, but I'll be able to clean that up with the cleaning action, and we'll get down this side here. With the welding screens, what do you guys prefer to see? Do you want to see the machine or me? Or do you want me to alternate each time I come back and forth? Let me know in the comments here, in the chat box. camera still on? Yes. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, you have a good weekend. Enjoy your dinner, and yeah, I'm sure I will see you next week. Okay, so just weld up the back. It's really nice. There. Was chasing. So this weld here, it was a bit open at the top where I had that bad tack, and then when I up at the bottom, so I was chasing a bit of a gap the whole way up. But it was fantastic. And then down here, somewhere about here, I had a bit of a blowout to chase, but really got a nice looking weld around the back there. Now I want to move over to the top. Again, because two sides on this catch can are folded, really I just got to do this side here. This curved side is really the hero side. It's what you see when it's in the vehicle. This front face down here. It's the prominent thing that that you see as far as my workmanship. So really want these to be welds, but given not chunks, but given that I've been making some beautiful welds all night, I am pretty confident that I'll go on and make some nice welds here. We'll just jump over to a different screen on the machine, so there's something a bit different to look at there instead of an empty screen. And I've been talking. How long is the stream? So we're going for an hour and 42 minutes. And I can see on the screen that this back here, this big gap here, I totally forgot about it. Normally I weld it first while the product's still cold, but I forgot about it. We'll come back and we'll hit that with a 2.4mm filler instead of these 1.6 fillers that we're using right now. And we'll close up, and we might have to come back over him with the pulse afterwards, but no matter what, we'll we'll get him all nice back there. But I guess that's the beauty of welding with the screen on. I get to see both sides of the product almost at the same time. Anyway, let's keep going. I'll put you in the other welding screen and we'll see how that goes. camera's working. Yes. So again, not too bad. Looks pretty good. A lot there. I did have a blowout just before this hole here, which you can see a little step on the third dab in there. I'll just rotate it through the light and you might be able to see that. But not a big deal at all. Obviously, there's going to be fittings 12 here. So this is going to be a -12 tank, which, you know, really huge fittings are going to cover the bulk of this weld. Not that it's a bad weld by any means. So we're looking pretty good. There is a fair bit of heat in this part. So I am just going to grab the air line and cool it down a little bit. The compressor is on. Okay, that was all good. I'll just hang him up here for now, keep him nice and close. Or not. Let's try that again. Beautiful. Just realized I've got my wide lens. I probably don't want to get knocked with an airline. Just get that out of the way. Okay, so now this guy right here. So there is a fold on this base plate here. Can I show you? There it is. So there's a fold right here. I'm just going to knock that fold down just to help with and fill the gap up. We'll just prop it here. Just want those back as far as I can. We'll prop it there. We will set up to go down from the top, but I will just tack up this corner first, where all the points are joining. Just jump in here and grab a 2.4mm filler. And the third hand, I don't know if that's working as an extra earth, but it's not. Okay, so I'm going to keep the straight current setting that we've been using, and just weld this fairly cold to just try and close up this large gap. And then if I have to, I'll come back over it and get the aesthetic that I want on it. Not big, but it will be. So I switched to 0.4mm filler because it sucks a whole bunch of heat out. It looked like I was averaging about 60 amps on that weld as well. So let me spin that around and show you. So we've gone ahead and it looked like absolute crap, but I'll buzz back over that with setting and just glam it up a little bit. but it is a perfectly good weld, perfectly serviceable weld. Anyway, it's certainly joined the two bits of material together. Reclose that gap, and we are already facing this way. Let's weld this whole side up. Like that. Just totally rubbed my eyeball with my glove, which wasn't a good idea. Prop, not a short one. We want a full length filler, and let's jump into a welding screen. Okay. Run down there really nicely. There was that gap that we were dealing with up the top there, but managed to just sort of adjust that with the foot pedal as I was rolling through. Really nice weld, not mad about that at all. Can you flip this guy over and run around? I think so. This particular weld here, I'm not a massive fan of because of the shallow angle that it is. It makes me to do it on a pulse setting, but on the pulse setting won't be what I want because again, this is the hero side of the product, so we can't have an undulating weld on the front there. It'll look like absolute trash even after it's been powder coated. So we're just gonna weld it as is. And take my time. I'll probably have to slow down my travel speed some and you know, just make sure that I'm keeping good consistency as I travel through there. Everything on the thing looks to be well, so we'll continue on. We are about to crack the 2-hour mark. It's really cool. Big fan of these longer streams. I know people don't like watching them after they've gone up, but my goal is to, I'd like to have the stream running all day, so I do like to test these longer streams. So we've got that all sorted. We've got our prop on. There was something else I wanted to do, and I don't remember what that was. Everything else looks great, so we'll just keep welding. I remember what I wanted to do. I wanted to change the brightness on the welding camera, which I'll do. So I'll flick over to that screen, I'll adjust the brightness, and then we'll get into this weld. Okay. Yeah, so turn the brightness down on the camera. Hopefully it lets you see the weld puddle better. When I do that, it makes the computer freeze, but it's been running good for the last 20 minutes or so, so give it a try. That weld, totally, totally beautiful. I don't know what I was trying to say then. But look at this, if I can get in focus. Really, really beautiful weld there. Was really slow going up until about an inch down on the travel speed. Really mindful to keep it consistent on the way down there. Again, this is the hero side of the tank, so not that I'm not taking care on the back of the tank, but you know, if this is a shitty looking weld at the front here, it's a shitty looking product. So really happy with that. Now we've got this corner here, which fold to match. Bottom panel is sort of designed. So I'll fill there and we'll start. I think I'd prefer to go from the top so we don't have to stop start there. Let me zoom you back off a little bit there. Yeah, I definitely want to weld from the top to the bottom. So I will just fusion weld down here to create a bit of a heat sink. Definitely don't want to compromise by putting the stop start. I was going to just say, actually could, because we are putting a dash. No, we will take the extra effort and do the work. There's not much I can do about closing that gap on its face. If I beat that, it'll distort this panel too much. So I'll weld up this and not touch this bottom panel, and I'll be able to knock the panel to close up the gap down there to save having to go over some cold welds. So let's Let's figure this out. And we the camera froze the that's annoying. And look at that face. Look at that face. Yeah, okay, it's all frozen. We'll go through the motions. So we will restart camera 1, restart camera 2, restart camera 3, and camera 4 is always fine. The camera 1 always thinks the battery is fine. This welding camera needs to be set every time. We need to authorize the camera to the stream. Here it is. And then we need to switch back to this screen and everything is working again. Why did that happen? I got no idea. This is the the problems that I keep. Anyone that's an expert, chime in chat. Let me know how I can stop the camera dying. The welding camera is still working, so it looks fantastic. Now, let me show you. Because we had this gap here that we couldn't manipulate, I just welded with fill. So basically, touching where I can get a fusion weld, and then I just dip the filler in as it starts to split away. And then on this side, I was able to knock it in the brass block and got a really good fusion weld on that. Again, back to the next tack, so there's no problems there. I'm just going to pop this little block on the top here to act as a bit of a heat soak. Panel here, we do have this just tricky, but I think we can manage it. I'm confident we can manage it. All right, let's get into it. Fingers crossed that all the cameras are still live in a minute. All right, I heard the USB cycle was skeptical that, that the cameras would still be. Uh, so got a really nice weld going as well. You can see it's a little bit thin right here. And what I think that is, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can. Just there, you see that little blister in the panel is where baffle is welded in on the inside, all of the baffle. So if you come across down here, you can see that coincides exactly where it was thin. And all that is that there's a whole bunch of aluminium pressed up against that front there, and it creates a bigger heat sink on the inside. Still looks fantastic. You can still get really nice. That down angle will still look really nice. We brighten up. Can we brighten up? Yes. Yeah. So still looks really good, but just thinking that out, because it is technically a difference in the world, but yeah, that's why I see that. Yeah, distortion is what it is from when I've welded the baffles in on the inside. But really, you can see the baffles in there as I turn the product around. You can see the first screen of the baffle that redirects the airflow. But anyway, now I will this bottom section out. I'll get you guys up and over here. Not that you see this camera watching, but so you know what I'm talking about right now. We'll keep that chill block there, and this will be in 2 passes, so I could probably get away with using some of these shorter filler rods. Okay, too bad. Right, I sort of overshot with the filler rod, and have a little bit of chilled filler of the puddle there. I don't know if you can really see it. It's like a great for this here. So we're going to go ahead and just buff over him now. And let's jump into the settings. So I'm going to use the pulse setting number 4 in this machine. I'm saving those changes. don't remember at all what I changed in that setting there. So pulse setting number 4 is my higher frequency setting, higher amperage setting rather. Since we've already welded this, we just need a few more amps to manipulate it. Want rod in there rather than just over the top. So let's just try that. It may disrupt the cameras in the stream, but we'll sort that out when we need to. Still got cameras? Yes, we do. So doing that, it actually just improves the weld. It won't shine again because we put too much heat into it, but when that gets coated, it will look like the rest of the welds. The option, or the if this was going to be a raw finish product, grind that away and then so you don't have it creates heat soak is basically what it is. I'll stick to the a bit. So you do that, and I'd go back. I'd probably belt sand it off and then weld over the top. Just not worth doing it when we're going to powder coat. We just need it to work, and that is on camera especially because the welds are nice and shiny. That one is dull. Aesthetic, and when it's powder coated, it will look fantastic. So this is not a fun weld. So we've got this pop here. The AN fitting for the drain will go, and fold in this section here always creates a gap, and I've already smacked it down, and it's just because of the way that the material shoots over the top. If it was cut with fur, it would cutting with a from a router. We're not going to get a camper there, so we're going to have to melt it down, and it just is what it is, but it will be fine. I am very confident that it will be fine. We're back on for 1, so a straight current setting, and we are welding out this catch can. Okay. So I ended up stopping and just repositioning the torch up higher just to make sure that the material fell in the right direction. It does really change the bead profile, but you know, it looks great. What I could have done when I stopped there has been to reduce the thin, so I'd get more gas coverage, and then would have widened the puddle. We've got to get down here and weld this piece here before we flip it up and weld this little triangle. So here, all the settings will stay the same. It's not that big of a, just an awkward bit of a position. And we'll buzz around here, and I think I'm 100% sure, but I'm 99% sure that this tank will pop this little guy up here as a bit of a heat soak and to put a bit of pressure on the part to help it earth. We'll pop that third hand there. I don't know if it's actually doing anything, but it's not doing anything. And yeah, let's buzz around it. It is a little bit awkward to get the filler in some of those parts, but looks great. So the bottom side of this tank, so these lumps here are from the tacks that were underneath. They were quite large tacks, so you can see that they're pretty evenly spaced where the tacks were. We've got some really nice welds on the bottom and then the top of this tank. So this is the JZA80 Supra catch can. Really nice. Let's try and get that in frame. And we'll just put a little bit of a filter on there so the welds show up a bit better. Got some really nice welds. This curve, I love this. It's a really soft curve. It's almost like welding a straight compared to the catch can we did previously that has this monster curve in it. That's a pain in the butt. Looks really good. So we've really just got this face. This is the hero side. All the welds are amazing. We've really dialed this machine in to get some great welding settings on this 2mm. Is that what I just said? 2mm aluminium. Really happy with how this tank turned out. Looks bloody magical. So we've been streaming for 2 hours and 20 minutes and welded 2 catch cans. It's it normally takes me about 35 minutes to weld a catch can. The added time of the stream is pretty huge. It's pretty huge. I do need to get one more catch can welded tonight, and which is R33 catch can. I'm just going to blast through and weld it, and I'll leave the stream on, but I won't so much explain what's going on. I have already welded this seam at the bottom. I was testing some settings the other day, but I do need to get some heat in the part before I'm going to really challenged to not talk when I can see the thing on. But you know, we'll just do the thing. We got to get it done quick. So I need to get some heat in the part. I'll weld that filter basket, and then we'll just roll through and weld the product. If anyone in the chat, I will 100% talk to you, but for right now, we are just powering through welding this catch can. There's 2 ways we can get heat into this part. We can weld it a bunch, or we can weld it once and then just let it relax for a minute. That weld take through. Break one of my streaming rules, which is not to chew gum. So find that I stream for a long time, I start grinding my teeth. So I apologise for the unprofessionalism of chewing on stream. But I'm sure we can all deal with it. Gonna weld the top up here. Looks like the welding camera froze, but that camera in particular will cycle back on when we dip out and dip into the screen again. Had a bit of a rough arc start, and sometimes that will trip one or all of the cameras. let's flick these cameras back on. I had a misstart on and that always knocks the cameras out. I wonder how I can stop that from happening. Not the arc start situation, but the fact that the current causes this. I wonder how I can I earth my table? How do I earth my welding table? Oh, the camera thinks that back up because I unplugged the USB. I know why that's doing that too. I can probably fix that. Not right now though. Yes, no, camera doesn't want to play. Yes. And I authorize this guy to the stream. Yes, here you are. No, yes. And then we swap screens and this camera will come live. Yes. All right, filter basket in. Let's just keep on going. What are we? 2 hours and 32 minutes. I want this catch can done in the next 20 minutes. 15 is what I want to say, but what's this section? Good with the filler rods tonight. I got a bunch out to clean and go through. I got 3 left. I wonder if that's enough, plus this one in my hand, to finish off this product. We'll find out. Filler rod roulette. All right, what did we lose? Just the welding camera. I had another misstart on that arc. Funny that it knocks out the welding camera one time and the main camera is the other. It's very strange. But that welding camera will 100% back. I probably shouldn't say that because I'm going to jinx it. It will come back when I switch back to the welding screen. These gloves at the start of the night, I had some holes in my other one of these red gloves. So I just popped this one on for my torch hand, and right here, every time I touch the product, I'm leaving dots on it. This is going to be acid dipped, powder coated. So it's not a big deal, but I do need to be mindful that I don't melt the glove to my skin. That's the real concern. Chill block on. Let's keep going. Alright, I did the exact thing that I said I didn't want to do, and melted my glove to my hand, and by extension the catch can. Not a big deal as far as the can's concerned, but it hurts like heck on my goddamn finger. Alright, here we go. Home stretch. How are we traveling? 2 hours and 42 minutes. I got 8 minutes roughly if I'm going to finish this catch can on time to the arbitrary time that I gave myself. Going to pop a chill block on there. We are really powering on right now. I'm sorry for the lack of communication with you. That might be exactly what you want. I have no idea. Got 2 short fillers. There is going to be a stop start at this seam here. So I'm going to use the 2 short bits of filler. I might actually save this one for the longer side because it is about 3 inches longer. And then we've got our last piece for the front. So we are in good shape to win the filler rod roulette that we were playing as well. I was talking the whole time with the stream turned off. Jessica, you cannot post fire emoji symbols in my chat. The chat bot does not like it. I will have to allow it because fire emojis should be legal in this chat, I think. So I'll look into that before the next stream. and with 3 minutes to spare, I hope I've got all the seams on this. I'm pretty sure I have. Yes, 3 minutes to spare. We smashed this catch can out, which was what, 28 minutes, I think. I don't actually remember when we started, but I will be able to go back and watch the VOD and figure that out. But we smashed this. The welds look good. There's it's a little bit too hot here, just above that hole, and there's a little bit of my glove on the front there. But it looks really good on the top. This R33 Skyline catch can, no issues on that at all. So we're going to put dash 10 fittings on the front of this one. I will just linish off that that glove before I weld those fittings on. But this will get acid dip, so even if I was to leave that that bit of plastic or nylon or whatever these gloves are made out of on there, the acid would take that off when they powder coat it. Polyester and spandex. Definitely what you want to have on your hands while you're welding. So we're done. So I do have one more catch can to weld, but I am done. I cannot keep going tonight. The goal today was to weld out 3 catch cans, and that has certainly been done. Let's grab the TIG finger here and just grab these and we'll have a look at them. So this is the Evo 6 catch can that we started with tonight. Got some really nice looking welds on this guy. Had a couple of issues, so we pulse welded along the curve at the bottom there because we had some huge overhang there just to combat that. But across the top here, it looks absolutely magic. Really happy with how that turned out. And then this guy here, the super tank. I'll just back you guys off. The super tank here. Let's get a bit of filter on there. Every single weld on this catch can is absolutely beautiful, I think. Really happy with how this one turned out. Pulse welded the filter bar at a 0.9 second instead of 0.1 second, and that was a good touch. Traveling a bit faster through there, but yeah, this guy looks magic. Really happy with how this one turned out. So there we go. We've got one more Evo 6 to get welded, but I'll come in tomorrow and get him done. We'll get fittings and brackets on these, and these will be up for sale in about 3 weeks. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow when I pop in, but I will definitely be back streaming on Tuesday, and maybe during the day on Monday. We'll see how that goes. For everybody who is here now, thank you so much for being here. Everybody who came during the stream, you guys rock. Chris and Jess in the chat, jump in there and talk with me. Even if you did get in, Jessica, I apologize for that, but we'll fix that. Anybody who watches the VOD, so watches the stream after this was live, I would love your feedback. You can jump in the comments. I know this is a long one, and I know everybody will scrub through it or ignore it, and that's totally fine. But if there was something that happened tonight that you liked, I'd love if you let me know. If there's something you didn't like, you know, I would really like the feedback to be able to this stream. With your guys' feedback, we have the shop lights on instead of having the shop in dark mode with just lights on me and the table. So all that feedback, having the welder camera, all that stuff is helping me make the stream better for you. I would love to get this stream out to more people. I'm certain that there's guys out there who would love to pick somebody's brain on some AC welding in real time. I don't quite know how to reach those people just yet, but if you do, let me know or do it for me. That would really be appreciated as well if you post on groups you're a part of or let people know. I'm here every day, every night. and yeah, I would love to get more people in the chat and have a little bit of a chat about welding, business, and life in general. They're all things that I'm very interested in. So wrapping that up, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I will absolutely see you next week.